Then Dave Roberts benches him for not hustling, and then he runs into a little situation where he needs to start making a few adjustments. You see that wrap at the beginning of his swing right there, and he made some adjustments to clean it up, but he was late on heaters. That's why I'm showing this. He's late on fastballs, and this was the early season adjustment. He said he eliminated that. Okay, so now, what does he tell himself, Bernsey? There's two ways of thinking as an offensive player. Can we pause? Because these balls were absolutely murdered. There's two things of thinking. He can hit the slider. He's hitting 300 off the slider, small sample size, 567 slug, 1 homer. Curveball he does all right against, but he's having trouble with the heater. So he's made the decision. I just got benched by my manager, June 3rd, mental break, take a day. And since he's come off that mental break, he's gone on fire, right? I think he's decided to tell himself, and I want to dive in while this is in the background to you. I think he's made the conscious decision in his mind right now. I am collision on the fastball. There's two ways to hit in my mind. Well, there's three. The third one being you're not a good hitter and you're going to be out. You're either going to take every variable into consideration. You're going to take count, wind, who's on the mound, who's on deck, everything. That's the way I hit. Played percentages, almost played it like I was gambling a little bit because I didn't think I could cover everything. Or you could play it like Sean Casey and some other hitters, and I am going to calibrate for the heater, and whatever happens off that happens. And I think that's what he's doing. He's just all in on the fastball right now. He got sat down by Dave Roberts because he was late on the heater, and he's telling himself, I don't care what the count is, 2-2, because to cripplify balls to where he is hitting them right now, 0-0, collision course. I am getting to that. That's not, I'm thinking about up the middle the other way. That is fully pot committed to a fastball, and I am going bridge. The only problem I have, and then we'll come out and talk about how you hit, the only problem I have with Cody Bellinger is he's got to prove he can handle the ones, because that's what he's going to see in the postseason. I can't have you hit in the middle of the order and scuffle against the likes of Steven Strasburg, 0 for 11, Max Scherzer, 0 for 8, Arrieta, 1 for 7, DeGrom, 1 for 6, Nola, 0 for 6. He feasts on the 3-4-5s, but come postseason time, I need to know that the hole that Houston exposed is closed up, or at least a little bit closed up. So I think for me, I wanted to give him some run, how good he's been recently. I think he puts a lot of undue pressure on himself. I think it's thrust on him by the team. How did you hit? Because listening to Sean Casey tell me I was on the fastball nonstop, lifetime over 308 career batting average. For me, that would have killed me to just hit off the heater. Okay. Do you think Bellinger's thinking I'm pot committed to the fastball? B, what was your style?
First of all, who cares about B? Look, I was near the hitter that Cody Bellinger was. The bottom line is Cody Bellinger is so incredibly gifted. But what you saw last postseason was him swinging at balls. He got exposed down and in. And the Astros just kept doing it, doing it.
Again.
And then they throw a fastball away and you get this weak swing because he became so conscious of down and in. So everything with this guy's approach, everything with this guy's swinging at strikes. The other thing about it is that everything with this guy is effort level, controlling his effort level. Loose muscles or fast muscles. It's as simple as that. I learned that in martial arts growing up. Right? The more muscle that you try to put into it, it's not going to work. It's going to work against you. Yeah. If we have it, run the tape, because I did this on Friday night.
Go.
And it's pretty simple, because when it comes to Cody Bellinger, the only thing that this guy's got to do is just slow it down. So there it is. There's your 96-mile-per-hour heater that he just got beat on, right? Takes his hat off and goes, you know what? I'm okay. Why? Because this has happened before. Because I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to freak out, because I had this at-bat against a nasty left-hander throwing mid to upper 90s with a filthy little slider. But I have the ability to stay within myself and be okay. When he took his hat off the other night, I was watching that live, and I said to myself, you know what, kid, you're going to be all right. Simplify it. Just don't get beat. Bring him in your zone. That's not a good pitch. That right there.
Pitch right there. 0-2 middle cut, bases loaded.
Terrible. But here he is. So long as you're Cody Bellinger and you know what your strengths are, look, everyone gets so concerned. We've talked about this before, D-Row. Everyone gets so concerned trying to cover the entire plate, right?
Yeah.
Eliminate the plate. I used to split it up in thirds. It's pretty simple. I would do my best to try to eliminate the inner third for me. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
On the fastball though, or were you
always on the fastball? Never came off it because I knew
I was different.
That was my strength. I was not going to get beat because we give the pitchers way too much credit for being so smart. And look, trust me, I faced guys like John Smoltz that I talk about with him all the time. Threw me 9 straight sliders.
Yeah.
All right? He was going to play to my weakness. That was my weakness, and that was it. But guess what? I'm not going to sit there and anticipate kryptonite coming at me, right? I mean, I want to just know that if I get that one mistake, I'm going to take advantage of it. And then the other thing is, if he happens to hang a slider or something, fine. So if I'm Cody Bellinger, this down and in fastball, he created that hole for himself because he became so conscious of it. And then what happened? They threw fastballs away, or the down and in breaking ball, they throw fastballs away, and you're seeing these weak swings. So quit trying. My only advice to whether it's Bellinger or any kid at home right now at this point watching this, quit trying to be Superman, all right? Because, look, you can't cover everything. Have a plan, go up there. I think, again, fastballs, middle away, adjust to the hanging, breaking stuff. It's as simple as that, especially when you have as much talent as a guy like him.
I just think if I was a teammate of Cody Bellinger, and I'm sure Chase Utley, I don't know, I'd never gone over the philosophy of hitting with Chase Utley. I would absolutely love to do that. But I would tell him, you can't go into the postseason and face the likes of like a Verlander. You can't face the likes of an Arrieta, the beasts. They are going to exploit your weaknesses. So for me, you have to be thinking along with the pitcher. I couldn't just sit heater and be successful. I had to take into account we're at Wrigley Field, wind's blowing in, I got Aramis Ramirez on deck, it's 2-2. I took all that into consideration, and it was process elimination for me. I think right now he got given a mental break by Dave Roberts to try and make some adjustments, but the fact that your manager comes out in public and says, hey, you're late on the fastball, that tells me if I'm a young kid, I better commit to the heater and get the head out. He's been able to do exactly that.
Regardless, and I don't care who you are, you're going to see a fastball 50% of the time, right? I mean, and that's, and probably more than that, probably closer to 60, and with some guys 70. So why would I want to come off that, knowing that that's my strength? I won't.
I don't think you see it middle of the plate come October. That's just my belief. There's too much there. If you've ever been, and I know you have, next to him, the guy's chiseled out of stone.
He's a monster.
But I used to watch him on the on-deck circle. Now, if you watch Hunter Pence on the on-deck circle, he's like, you're like, how did this guy ever get a hit, right?
Right.
We all have different ways of going about it. I was a
golfer.
I was a complete loser. I had like 5-pound plate on.
You had the sledgehammer. Here we go, baby.
I wanted to make the thing feel like an absolute toothpick. But when I would watch Jason Hayward, on deck. He would do this move where he would go like that, and I'm like, what is he trying to accomplish on the on-deck circle? Because if you're going to bring that to the AB, I know you're trying to stay inside it, but
well, I think
probably not the way to go about it. So let's get into your tape.
Let's check
your take over here. Let's dive into the tape a little.
You know, when I look at Jason Hayward, he looks different to me. I mean, this is last year when I feel like his swing was out and around. I think he cast his hands out. It was more of a flat plane, right? He kind of came in and everything was around the ball. His hands were out. See that? It was just like a...
So stop that there. Go back to... Give me a clean frame. Bang!
See how he's coming? Right. Can you bring it a little bit? His hands right here are different this year. See how last year they kind of... Everything was coming. It was almost like looking for like a weird around the ball, maybe like a launch angle thing, trying to hit homers, kind of casting out, right? And so... When I look at him this year, and I look at Schwarber too, Chili Davis, his influence on Hayward and Schwarber and what these guys are doing, they're more direct to the ball this year.
Show me. So, stay here, Savine, because I want to make my point as well.
So when I see Jason Hayward now, I think a big thing about hitting is posture, right? I got to keep that spine angle as long as I can to get to that baseball. Anytime that starts to break down, if I'm doing this or whatever. So what I'm seeing is Hayward's taller, right? His hands are have a more direction of that knob to the baseball, whatever you want to say.
Going back to old school.
Right. So his posture's staying there. He's more A to B to the ball, and the barrel's dropping in, right? I'm not saying he's not coming down like this. I'm saying his initial approach to the ball is on top of it. So he comes, and he's coming almost downward like this on that initial run to the ball, and then the barrel's just showing up, and it's showing up in a hurry. And what you're seeing this year is the fastballs. He's not going to beat with that fastball. Yeah. He turned around 97 the other night, up, turned around. He's not turning that around the last couple of years. No way. He's made a huge adjustment.
You talk about going around the ball, barrel showing up. I have a kind of an idea why I think the barrel's showing up. Keep running it, because I added a little bit to your tape here. And when we get through this swing, you see him out and around. He fidgets with his hands more than any player that I see offensively. You see Nolan Arenado do his dance step with his feet, but lock in. This is last year, okay? He plays that motorcycle with his hands. But right there, what I notice is, and we'll come out on the tee after that swing, because I want to make a point. So pause it, Savino, for me, because he made an adjustment last offseason where he wanted to lower his hands. I don't care where you put your hands, Casey. Let me.
Right.
When you get to a point, your hands, for me, you watched early, you watched Hank Aaron, you watched Willie Mays, even Mike Trout. These guys, at the point of contact, it's hands, man. It's whack. I'm trying to backhand the absolute you-know-what out of this baseball. He would get to the point where he had so much hand play, right, that when he would come set, his hands would go,
the top
right?
hand.
So now I've locked out both my forearms. So you talk about the bat head dropping in. I can't drop anything in with any power.
You can't release your wrist.
Because you're so tied up. You've created so much tension in your arms that you can't release your hands. And when I hear him talk to guys like Ken Rosenthal after having great games, whether it be on any network, that's what he talks about. He talks about, I found my hands again. I used to tell myself, when in doubt, take everything out of the equation and get the hands to the baseball. Now, for me, sometimes that works. That's not how everyone thinks. I know Donaldson thinks about shoulders. Chris Bryant's thinking about plane. But what I love to see, this guy kind of reverted back to that old school, like the simple, down and through, find your hands again, backspin some stuff.
I look at Schwarber's swing right now, too, how he's backspinning some balls in the gaps. Like, he's kind of like, look at their swings. They're pretty similar. I think that's why I think Chili Davis had a big influence on these guys getting back.
So run it. He lowered his hands early in 2017. He was still fighting his hands, but he found a little success, and then it went kind of south again. And he finally is kind of searching, gets off to a tough start in 2018, has some moments, but now that's turning around Josh Hader. That's 95. He's getting a high velocity.
See that? I mean, it's shorter, it's quicker, the bat speed's better. Boom.
Bang!
See that?
That's down
it's
through.
It's down through. That's not around the baseball. That's not casting your hands. That's not feeling that top hand. His hands are, you're right, boom.
Left on left.
I mean, come on, and that's 97. He's turning around for that big grand slam the other day. I mean, listen, that bat speed's back.
Check it out. Check it out here.
Yeah.
Run that back again, Savino. That's so good. And I want you to pause it right there for me, because he's definitely rapping a little bit more. Right. And I don't know, he looks like he's more into his legs to me. He looks a little squared up. I don't care what he does. I don't care how he stands. Craig Counsell proved you could put your hand anywhere.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And be on time.
Right.
Tony Bautista was like, woo!
At the end of the day, when you go to hit, you got to be right here. You got to have that rubber band effect, walking away from your hands. Every big leaguer, they can do whatever they want. They could, Eric Davis, they can start down here, be up here. No, it doesn't matter. As soon as you go to hit, you got to be right there. You got to have that good posture. You
got to have hands play.
Hands back. You got to have it. These guys are elite eye-hand coordination. Keep running that real quick.
I mean, he's down. I mean, this is.
There's no doubt. I mean, he is no doubt down. Look at. I mean, that 2017 he's around. 2018 he's direct.
Is Jason Hayward the X factor for the Chicago Cubs this year?
He just might be. I don't think they expected him to be swinging the bat the way he is, and I think he's getting better too.